Alright guys, I decided to get out today. It's a beautiful day. It's about 60 degrees. Man, my mind's not with it. I was going to say 60 o'clock. What the heck's that supposed to mean? Anyway, I'm out here doing the famous spot where I found a lot of goodies. Yeah, big ring, barber quarter, standing liberty quarter, British half crown. And heard some people saying when you go over old spots, you know, change up the settings a little bit. And I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but yeah, that was an incredibly good idea. So normally I run my sensitivity on anywhere between 26 and 28, depending on, you know, power lines and all kinds of stuff. And it's real clean here. I tried 30, it was chattering a little bit, so I got my sensitivity on 29, which is at least a notch or two above what I normally do. And I went into two-tone mode, because this is the kind of spot, any signal more than a few inches down that sounds good, I'm just going to dig it, no matter what it sounds like. So the two-tone Ferris takes away from all them different tones, you know, which kind of tire you out faster mentally. So I just turned my detector on, put it on those settings, walked about 2 feet here, and you can look at my shovel. I just pulled this off the bottom of the hole. And when you're in two-tone, the sounds seem like they're hitting a little harder, so you might dig signals you would have passed up before you might have thought were weak. So it's hard to dig deep nickels, and I just dug a nickel that's 10 inches down. I mean, so that's probably my deepest nickel, but, you know, as you guys know, I've been digging a ton of deep clad out of here. And I can't quite see it, but I think this is a 1970, so I'm gonna run this two-tone with a sensitivity on 29, see if I can get any good deep stuff out of here. I'll get back with you if I find anything good. Alright, just when I think I've really hit this place hard and it's gonna stop giving good stuff, I come back after it rains, and the deep signals are just popping up everywhere. Since the last day I had the camera on, I dug maybe 4 different pieces of clad. I did dig a regular penny that was probably 8 inches. I switched back to multi-tone because I moved into an area where there's a lot more signals, so it was hard to discern what I was looking for. Got a hit down here that one direction it was iffy. The other direction it was starting to give a little bit of high tone, but the one direction it sounded junk, or maybe like a wheat penny at best. And I got about 7-8 inches down. And if you see this little clod here I took off the bottom of the hole, it looks like there's a silver dime rim there. Let's focus it on it a little more. Now I'll just pull it out. Let's get it around here. I know I saw it somewhere. There it is. It's definitely going to be silver. So, let's see. Dropped it in the hole, but it looked like a rosy before I dropped it. That's what it is. It's a silver rosy. $19.48. Awesome. I'm going to keep looking. That's about maybe the 8th coin I dug, and I did get 1 pull tab, but not digging a lot of junk. Alright, it's perfect hunting conditions at this spot today. It gets swampy real easy, but other times it's real hard. It's like in between, it's perfect to dig. I got that silver dime right over here. Before, my standing liberty quarter was right around here, and the barber was over this way more. After I dug that silver dime just now, I went about a yard and I got a deep wheat penny, which I thought was going to be another silver. I got one here about 7-8 inches down. It was a decent signal, but it definitely wasn't repeatable. You can see here, you know, it's about 7 inches, but just pulled out a really clean 1944 wheat. So these deep signals, they're just really jumping out today. So I'm going to keep swinging around here, hopefully I can get another silver. The weird thing about this spot is, you know, I dug that coin, that barber that's well over 100 years old. And other than that, I think I've dug a total of like maybe 5 rosies here now. I'm like not getting any of the in-between stuff. It's like the modern silver or the really old stuff. I haven't dug a merc or anything like that. So it's kind of strange, but maybe my merc's coming. We'll see. Alright, I'm back at the same hole. I dug my wheat penny. You can see the big plug here, and then I dug this kind of thin but deep sidewall here because I still had a signal on this side about the same depth, about 7 inches. Pulled my first wheat over here, a few inches over, I got a signal. let's hope this one's silver and not a wheat. But the ferrous was ringing up high, so I mean it's a possibility it could be junk, but it sounds pretty good with the probe. So I'll see if I can get this out. Doesn't sound like real high tone, so if this is a coin, it's probably going to be another wheaty. This is probably a wheat penny spill here, but you never know. I don't even know if you can be able to get down in here. We'll see. Whole way at the bottom here, my sign it's actually a memorial cent. It's just crazy how deep this clad can be here. You can see that sticking on the edge there. About 7 inches down, so alright, too bad it wasn't a wheat, oh well. Alright, I just dug like an 8-inch 63D memorial cent, and I got an interesting signal. It was only a couple inches down. I thought it was a quarter one way, but the other way it was more like a dime. So I dug it, pulled the quarter, I was like, okay, it was a quarter, just maybe buy some junk or something. Then I went to push my dirt back in the hole, and I saw a whole mess of coins, well, a couple, and all stuck together. I guess right by the quarter was a dime and 2 more pennies. It was more modern. It looked like an 80s spill or something. They weren't really modern coins, but not really old either. I got a signal here. I just put my shovel there to show where it is. I think I might have a deep silver here, so I want you guys to listen to this. It's only ever hit 3 numbers. It hit 1245, 1545, and 1745. It's very consistent and very deep. Well, that time it hit 1946, but it's deep, so the numbers are going to jump. But on the depth, like I said, sorry if you can't see this because my screen's dirty, the cover I have on it, but I mean, it's consistently 7 inches to 8 inches down on the depth gauge, and it's hitting hard. Squeaky too. I mean, yeah, it could be anything, but now at that time it hit 1345 and it was just at 1545, so I mean, this could be deep silver. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's easy to pinpoint too, so I mean, it could be bigger than a dime, so hopefully it's, you know, silver quarter or something, but we'll see. I got it pinpointed where I think it's at, and I'm gonna cut my plug and I'll get back with you. Alright, I'll see if I can do this live. I didn't cut a huge plug. I probably should cut a little bigger, but yeah, I hope this is the kind of a dream signal you get. You just hope it's something good, but I hope it's not that thing. Could be, because it was reading up a little higher in the ferrous, so oh, thank goodness, whatever that is, it's not metal. I don't know what that is. Well, anyway, thank goodness that isn't my target. Well, this is too hard to dig live. I didn't even get far enough. I'm only 4 inches down on that plug, so I'm going to turn the camera back off, and dig a couple more inches down, see if that signal comes in better. The probe's barely even reading it, so if I do this live, it's going to take like 5 minutes, so stand by. Right, I dug down about another 3 inches, clear all this, and I think I see a silver dime. So, I'm going to get in here and just show a tiny little shot of it. It's hard getting down on these holes. See right there? Get down in there with my finger. It looks like a silver dime. Yes. And it looks like a rosy. Let's pull this out. Man, these deep silvers are really chiming in good today. I mean, most of these I know I walked over before. Hmm. 1952. This one's pretty worn. and it was a little bit closer to my sidewall. It looks like I nicked it a little bit, but it's a rosy, so the back you can see pretty good. It's definitely worn, but it's a 52 plain. Awesome, 2 silvers in the day. Keep looking for more. Alright guys, a little experiment here. I want to show you some of the more iffy tones I dig. See that little hole I put right there, just with the tip of my shovel, just because that's where I want to start the center of my hole. Now listen to this. See how the threshold's kind of cutting out? You can see the detector making some noises. Normally that would sound like crap, but it's constantly pegging. I don't know if you can see this because I'm using my left hand, there's some glare, but it's constantly pegging like 10 inches on the depth gauge. And yeah, it's coming up generally high Ferris numbers, like in the low 20s. But once in a while it hits like 142, 640. You can hear this direction sounds more like a consistent signal. 1343, and now the depth gauge is like, it keeps bouncing between maxed out and like 10 inches. And normally I don't dig stuff like this, but in a place like this where it's very clean and all the good stuff is, you know, generally 6 inches and below, I mean, that could be a deep coin, so I'm gonna check it out and we'll see. I just want to show you guys some of the iffy targets I dig. So this is either going to be some kind of junk or a really deep good coin, I would hope. So stand by. Tell you what, that was crazy. I was scanning over all the stuff here I brought up from about, you can see there's my plug, not real deep, you know, only like 5 or 6 inches. Once I got that out, I put the probe in, and when I was running the probe over my loose dirt here, it kept nulling out. So there's like little tiny pieces of decomposing like iron that I can't really even find. I'm not going to try to find the little itty bits. We'll see if it still does it. You hear the threshold of my detector cutting out? You hear that? So there's a little iron in there. I got way down here, I pinpoint off. Not quite as deep as the gauge said, but almost up to the handle on my left where I pulled the signal out. Almost filled my hole back in thinking it was iron. Got a little tiny peep with the probe. Kept digging down that way. And looks like a silver dime. So that was the crappiest signal I've ever dug a silver on. And there's my Merc. Whew, this one's toasted. You know what? I don't even think there's going to be a date on there. You can see a little piece of the one, but this one's gone. Yeah, leave it to me to find the stuff. Look at the wear on that. You're not even going to be able to read the lettering around the sides. Leave it to me to find a junk silver, but hey, silver, silver. And I'm glad I filmed that to show that I was going to dig this. I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been a wheat, could have been junk. There it is, a really, really, really slick piece of silver. Awesome. Okay, I'm done detecting. My detector's in my car. This tree that I was hunting around last time I came here, they hacked everything off of it and it's marked. Just a bunch of R's on them. I guess that means like maybe remove or something. But that's all hacked apart. So about the last hour and a half I was here. That's over there by the ball field where I've been finding most of the silver here. Back here it's a lot easier to hunt. This stuff isn't as deep. And kind of in this little patch here between the tree and that side of the fence, I found tons in the past, tons and tons of change from the 60s and 70s mostly. One silver came out of this corner and it was a Roosevelt. I went over it real carefully again because it's kind of wet, and I pulled 5 nickels, all from the 60s, a few more clad dimes and copper pennies, and I did get 2 wheats, and one of the wheats was in with a copper penny. So when you find wheats in with copper pennies, that normally means the spot just barely making the cutoff, you know, for finding some older stuff. But once I get this tree out of here, I'll be very interested if I can get in there around it. I'm not sure what they're going to do, if they're going to fill it in right away or not, but I'll keep checking back in the spot. There's that old concession stand I showed before, and the weird thing about this spot is on this side, it's just incredibly clean and easy to hunt. You come on this side of the tree, and you can't even get a threshold on your detector. I mean, you can hardly even find surface change. So I don't know what the deal is here. There's definitely something going around that concession building, and one strip kind of going that way. There's just your detector just nulls the whole time and there's no signal. So I don't know what the deal is. I know way down the under end there's one strip of like a real fine white kind of sandy gravel, and I've dug clad like 4 inches down to that level with that kind of gravel, but I've never dug like an old coin in that spot. So, you know, a lot of stuff happened here over the years, but close to the ball field is definitely where I've been finding most of the old coins, you know, mostly about 8 inches down. So interesting place to hunt, very diverse as far as, you know, the different areas. Every area you hunt here, you got to use kind of like a different strategy. So I had my sensitivity maxed out on the E-Track today on 30, and it wasn't chattering at all. So this is really a perfect place to hunt, and bumping my sensitivity up from 28 to 30 just seemed like it really made the difference on a few of them deep silvers and wheats. So I'm very happy with 3 silvers today. It just came out because it's beautiful out. So I'm gonna walk around a bit and spend some time outside, and then I'm wrapping it up. All right, guys, see you at the wrap up. Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm not gonna lay everything out tonight, but I did find a pretty generous pile of clad you can see there. This time I dug a lot of the surface clad that I ignored before. I always dig quarters, but sometimes I ignore the surface penny and dime signals just because you could dig them all day, a lot of spots. But I dug up a lot of them today in case I go back, you know, just trying to clear out the area since there's a lot of old stuff there. You know, want to get any junk and surface stuff out of the way because you never know what could be underneath them. As you all know, that barber quarter I dug a while back, I dug a nickel just like 2 inches away from it that was, you know, pretty much a surface find, and I know for certain the direction I was going, if I wouldn't have dug that nickel, there's no way I would have found the barber quarter because, you know, I rechecked my hole and I got it hit about 10 inches down. But anyway, that's the clad in there. I think I dug 6 wheat pennies, not positive, I know it was at least 5 anyway. There were 40s and 50s wheaties, so nothing special. Only 2 quarters, you know, once you keep going over spot over and over and over again, you know, you stop, you know, digging quarters because they're pretty hard to miss. So I only got 2 quarters today, so that's probably a lot of dimes though. It might be $3 in clad, maybe not quite there. And here's the good ones of the hunt. I really would have even been happy with 1 silver today. I mean, I wasn't even sure if I was going to dig 1. But first one here is a 1948 Rosie. Pretty nice shape, no distracting marks or anything. Pretty average wear too, so nothing special, but a nice coin. The next one, leave it to me to find the silver that is completely toasted. Wow, look at that Merc. Now, before, when I was out in the field, I said I probably won't be able to pull a date on it. Still the case, except now that it's cleaned up, I can see the 3rd number there. This is, as I assumed, a very early Merc. It says 191, and I think, if you look up there real close to the right of that 1, it looks like there's another line going horizontal. My mind might just be seeing things, but I'm guessing this is a 1917, but it's either 16, 17, 18, or 19, so it's pretty stained too. That should come off though. I don't know, that's more like a tar almost. This, look at how slick the back is. Every time I find ugly silver like this, I wonder if I'm ever going to find another one like it. But man, I don't ever see anyone digging Mercs this toasted, so I mean, look at that. You can't even, except up at the top here, you can kind of see where it says States. But man, all the other lettering, and you can see obviously in the middle, you can see some of E Pluribus Unum, but everything else is just gone. So there's a nice toasty Merc. Still glad to have it though. I mean, you saw in that live dig, that was a terrible signal, you know, because it's so worn and there was some iron in the hole. Easily a coin you can just swing right past and never even give it a second thought. In that spot specifically, I know I've probably gone over at least twice before and missed it. Now this Rosie has got some problems going on. I don't know if you can see from the glare. I think I nicked it here on the top right, but it also has some other marks that I didn't put in it. There's a nick on the top, and then there's a little nick down here on the bottom. And it's a 52 plane. You can see it's a little smashed there. So, not in great shape, but hey, it's common silver anyway, so even if it's beautiful, it's not going to really go up in value. But there it is. Got 3 silver dimes today. I was extremely pleased with that. And yeah, another nice pile of coins too. You know, none of the nickels predated 1960 like I was hoping. A lot of early 60s, but I just couldn't eke out an old one for the nickels. You know, same stories before, digging a lot of coins from the 60s and 70s, but you know, those silvers are mixed in. That Merc could have just as well been a barber. You know, I'm finding some coins that, you know, date back to the barber quarter I found was 1899, and you know, this is an early Merc, so there's definitely a few early coins, you know, way down there somewhere. So definitely will go back to that spot at least one more time if it keeps producing, but I'm getting close to the point where, you know, I'm stopping, not getting many deep signals. But next time I go back, I'll be sure to take my camera with me. Alright guys.